Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to the Coliseum here in Oakland, California for Game 4 of the 2019 World Series between the Chicago Cubs and the Oakland Athletics. The Oakland Athletics play host, and they lead this series 3-0. So the Chicago Cubs have their backs against the walls. They are on the verge of being swept by the Athletics. Athletics won Game 1 3-1, they won Game 2 4-3, and they won Game 3 5-1. The Chicago Cubs lineup is as follows. Right fielder Jason Heyward, followed by shortstop Addison Russell, first base Anthony Rizzo, third base Chris Bryant, left field Jorge Soler, catcher is Emilio Sosa, DH Tommy La Stella, center field Albert Amora, and second base is Javier Baez. While on the mound for the Athletics is the right-hander Julio Teheran, making his second start of the postseason as they will turn to him to try to close out this series against the Chicago Cubs and see if they can clinch themselves a World Series victory. So Julio Teheran on the mound, he'll start his day off against Jason Heyward, the right fielder, hitting 2 for 12 so far in the World Series. As he digs in to face the first pitch of the game from Teheran. Pitch number 1 is taken for ball 1, so 1-0 count to Heyward. As the count runs 1-1 now, as Teheran turns, kicks, and fires. And Heyward's going to rip this one into left center field gap. Pollock goes back, cannot get to it. That'll land in the warning track, bounce up off the wall. Throw comes into the cutoff man and then into third base, but Heyward with a leadoff double to start off the day for the Cubs. So he's on second with nobody out, and that brings up Addison Russell, the former Athletics prospect. The shortstop hitting 2 in their lineup. Hitting second in their lineup, I should say. So 0-1 count to him. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be popped up into deep right center field. Pollock ranges over to it, and he is there to put this one away for out number 1. The throw into the cutoff man as Heyward tags, and he's going to be able to move up to third base easily as the throw comes into third. Way late, so Heyward's on third base now with 1 out as Anthony Rizzo comes to the plate. He's 1 for 12 in the series. So Heyward on to third with 1 out, full count to Rizzo. Here comes the pitch. And that's taken for ball 4, so Rizzo takes his base, sets up first and third, runners on the corners for the Cubs, as that brings up the DH, or the third baseman Chris Bryant, the cleanup hitter. The runners on the corners, 1 out, 0-1 count to Chris Bryant. Here comes the pitch from Teheran. That's going to be ripped into right field. Andino fields, the runner will score, and Andino's throw goes to third to hold the runners up at first and second, but Heyward does come in to score. As the Cubs strike first, it's now a 1-0 Cubs lead here on the top half of the first, but it's 1 down, runners on first and second as they still have a chance to strike for more. So 0-2 count to Jorge Soler. From the stretch, here comes the pitch. He whiffs through it, the slider goes down swinging. Jorge Soler. Strike number 3 goes down on 3 strikes. So first and second now with 2 outs, and Emilio Sosa, the catcher's at the plate with an 0-2 count. Teheran sets and delivers. And Sosa goes down on the slider as well. Back-to-back strikeouts for Teheran to get himself out of the jam as he allows 1 run on 2 hits, 1-0 Cubs here halfway through first. Welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning as the Oakland Athletics lineup is shortstop Jose Miguel Fernandez, second base Solarte, center field AJ Pollock, left field Chris Davis, DH is Kyle Schwarber, first base is Matt Olson, third base Brady Slayton, right field Sean Andino, and rounding things out is the catcher in Ramon Benitez. While on the mound for the Chicago Cubs is Chad Bettis, getting the nod here in Game 4 to try to stall off this Athletics offense, which has been absolutely insane this postseason. And Fernandez digs in, still does not have a hit in the postseason, as the pitch number 1 is in there for strike 1. So there Bettis' day starts off with a high strike, fastball. So 0-1 count to Fernandez, now here comes the pitch. And Fernandez gets all of that one. Jose Miguel Fernandez with a solo shot over the right center field fence, leads off the game with his first hit of the World Series, as that is going to be a 1-0 Athletics lead on Fernandez's 3rd home run of the season. And here comes Yangervis Solarte, so nobody out, the second baseman digs in. 1-1 game now, as here comes the pitch from Bettis. Swung on and grounded to second base, fielded by Baez, he'll toss over to first, and that's out number 1 as Solarte is retired. So Solarte down, that'll bring up the three-hitter and the center fielder A.J. Pollock, who had 3 home runs in Game 3 here in Oakland. Powered the A's to their Game 3 victory. And here comes the first pitch to him. Swung on, and that's going to be popped up into shallow left field. Russell goes back, he's camped under it, waves off the outfielder, and he's there to retire for out number 2. So 2 down now in the bottom half of the first inning as Pollock is retired. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter in Chris Davis, who only has 1 hit here in the World Series. So 1-0 count to him. In this tie game, here comes the pitch. That's a dribble that in front of home plate. Fielded by Sosa, tosses over to first, and that's out number 3 as Davis is retired. But not before the Athletics tie the game on a solo shot to lead off the game by Jose Miguel Fernandez. So 1-1 tie here at the end of 1. And welcome back to the top half of the second inning. Still a tie game at 1-1, obviously, as Tommy LaStella digs in, the DH for the Cubs. 1-2 count on him as here comes the pitch from Tehran. That's going to be ripped out to left field. The dive from Davis, and it gets past him. That'll roll up against the warning track as Pollock will have to come over to center field to get that one. He fields, he gets it into the cutoff man pretty quickly, but it's not going to be enough as Tommy LaStella has himself a triple to lead off this top half of the second inning. So 1-1 game with a runner on third and nobody out for the Cubs. They were in prime position to get this runner in as here comes the pitch to Almora. In there for strike 1. So the 0-1 count to Almora. As Tehran sets at the chest from the stretch, here comes the pitch. And that's popped up the first baseman Olsen. He's camped under it at the edge of the outfield dirt. And that is retired for out number 1. So LaStella will have to hold up at third base. So runner on third with 1 out now as that brings up the power-hitting infielder in Javier Baez. The pitch from Tehran, taken for strike 1. 2-seam fastball down in the zone. So 0-1 count to Baez now. Tehran sets from the stretch the pitch. That's going to be grounded down the line. Nice stab by Slayton. Throw across the diamond to retire Baez. Very nice play, but a run does come in. As the Cubs take another lead in this game, they're up now 2-1. But they have 2 down, and here comes the pitch to Hayward. That's taken for strike number 1. So the count runs 0-2 now to Hayward as here comes the pitch from Tehran. And that's going to be ripped into right field. Andino Fields gets it into the cutoff man as Hayward keeps the inning alive with 2 outs. And they're trying to strike for more as they're up in this game 2-1. And now a 2-2 count to Addison Russell. The pitch. And he whips through the fastball up and in. Goes down swinging. That's the 3rd out of the inning. And as Tehran allows 1 run in that inning as it makes it a 2-1 Cubs lead halfway through 2. And here we are in the bottom half of the second inning. Cubs in the lead 2-1 as Kyle Schwarber digs in to lead off the inning. He'll be facing Chad Bettis as here comes Bettis' first pitch. And that'll be popped up into shallow center field as Almora will run in to put that one away for out number 1. So Schwarber is retired to start off the inning. So there's 1 down as that brings up the first baseman, Matt Olson. He has 1 home run so far in the World Series, and he digs in with a 1-0 count and 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Bettis. He reaches out and rips that one to left field. That's going to carry over the fence just barely. Matt Olson, a solo shot. That is his 2nd home run of the World Series, 3rd of the postseason, and it ties the game up at 2 here in the bottom half of the second inning. So Matt Olson gets this game all back even as that brings up Brady Slayton. First pitch to him is going to be chopped up the middle, fielded by Baez. He'll toss over to first as Slayton is retired for out number 2. But Olson did hit that solo shot, so it is still tied at 2-2. And now 2 down as that brings up Sean Andino. Here comes the 2-1. That's going to be lined directly at Addison Russell. He'll put that one away with ease, makes the snag, and that's out number 3. So 2-2 Athletics and Cubs is the score here at the end of 2, thanks to a solo shot from Matt Olson. Welcome back to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Still tied up here at 2-2 as A.J. Pollock digs in with a 1-1 count against Bettis. And that's going to be ripped over the head of Russell into left center field, cut off quickly by Almora, as Pollock is only going to have himself a single. So Pollock on first base as that brings up the left fielder in Chris Davis. 0 for 1 so far in the day with a ground out back in the first. So Pollock on first, 1-0 count to Davis. Bettis sets. Here comes the pitch, and there goes Pollock. Takes off for second. The throw down is not in time, and Baez could not handle the throw down. So Pollock with a swiped bag gets himself in scoring position with nobody out, and a 2-2 count to Chris Davis. Here comes the pitch, and he whiffs right through that fastball. Goes down swinging. Chris, the heavy swinging left fielder in Chris Davis, goes down. So one down now with runner on second. Here comes the pitch to Schwarber, and that'll be taken for strike one in the outside half. Schwarber not happy with the call, but count runs 1-1 now. Here comes the pitch from Bettis. As Schwarber pops this one up to shallow right field, Baez goes back to put it away. And that's out number 2 as Pollock has to hold up at second base. Still in scoring position, but there's 2 outs now in the bottom half of the fourth. So here's Matt Olson, who homered in his last at-bat in the second to tie the game at 2. And A.J. Pollock on second base. Here comes the first pitch to Olson. And that's swung on and clobbered left field. It's got a chance, and you can watch it fly. Matt Olson, 2-run shot, puts the Athletics back on top by a score of 4-2 here in Game 4 of the World Series. His second home run of the day, 4th of the postseason, as Matt Olson gives the A's another lead in this game, as that is now a 4-2 Athletics lead, and 1-1 count to Slayton as he digs in. And he's going to get that one past Baez at second into right field. So Brady Slayton keeps the inning alive here with 2 outs. So he's on first, and that'll bring up Sean Andino, the right fielder. 0 for 1. He lined out in his last at bat to the shortstop Russell. Digs in with a 1-1 count. With the runner on first, here comes the pitch from Bettis. That's going to be lined off of Bettis' leg, and that's going to be a single for Sean Andino as Brian has to come over and collect it. And he does not have a play at either bag. So first and second now for the A's brings up Ramon Benitez, the 9-hitting catcher. Bettis looks down the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be grounded at the first base, as Rizzo will step on the bag himself. And Benitez is retired for out number 3, but not before the A's strike for 2, thanks to a 2-run shot from Matt Olson. 4-2 A's over the Cubs is the score here at the end of 4. And here we are in the top half of the 9th inning. A's in the lead by a score of 5-2 over the Cubs. And Tony Watson's going to come out of the bullpen looking for his 6th save of the postseason and try to close out this World Series victory for the A's. So 5-2 A's as Anthony Rizzo digs in to lead off the top of the 9th. Here comes the pitch from Watson. That's going to be taken down the left field line where nobody is as there was a shift. So Davis gets over that one down in the left field line of the outfield. But Anthony Rizzo has himself a easy stand-up double lead off the inning as he tries to keep his Cubs alive. And now Chris Bryant comes up, 1 for 3 on the day with a single and an RBI, with Rizzo at second and nobody out. So 0-2 count to Bryant. Watson sets and delivers. He whiffs through the slider. That's 1 down. So 1 down now with runner on second as Chris Bryant is retired on the slider. And now that'll bring up Jorge Soler with an 0-1 count. The pitch is taken off of the leg of Watson. Fielded by Olson. He came off the bag, so no play at first. That sets up runners on the corners. And now the tying run is at the plate. Watson will stay in the game here with runners on the corners and 1 out. And like I said, tying run at the plate in Emilio Sosa, who's 0 for 3 on the day. 1-1 count to him. Watson sets. Delivers. That's a ground ball to third base. Fielded by Slayton. Goes the second with it. The first. And that's an E5-4-3 double play to end the game and end the season. As the Oakland Athletics have done it. They have come out on top as they are 2019 World Series champions. They sweep the Chicago Cubs as they came out and dominated this entire postseason and regular season. And they have proven themselves as the best team in baseball here in 2019. Congratulations to the Oakland Athletics. You are 2019 World Series champions. Matt Olson had the game-tying home run in the bottom half of the second, and he had the go-ahead two-run shot in the bottom half of the fourth, so Matt Olson gets Player of the Game honors here in Game 4 of the World Series. And with that being said, that is going to wrap things up here for this edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball. It's also going to wrap things up here for the 2019 season. We'll see you next time for the offseason. With the Oakland Athletics, I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.